Hey everyone, welcome to another training. Today we're talking all about sales. If you are someone that avoids sales like the plague, if you get that ick every time you think about you selling in your business, this training is for you. We're going to talk about how you can sell ethically in your business. We're going to talk about sales skills, and we're also going to talk about sales psychology. How does the mind work? And why is sales actually of greatest service to our ideal client? Like, really understanding how the mind works is going to be a really important part of this process. So personally, I love helping small business owners fall in love not only with their work, but the art of sales as well, and teaching people that they can create a sales system or a sales script in a way that feels good, authentic, and in integrity with their value system. And this is important because if you're in business, no matter your business, you're in sales. There's no way around sales if you want to have a business. And in fact, if you're avoiding selling in your business, you are also 100% avoiding success. People avoid sales for all kinds of reasons. Most likely, you have had a bad experience being sold to. You might have some stories about money. You know, people with money are bad. And that is actually repelling you from actively bringing in more money. You have misfiled, this is a coaching term, the word sales as something unethical or bad. You have your own unique definition of this word. Let's face it, sales gets a lot of negative publicity. But that's because a lot of people don't know how to do sales, just like a lot of people don't know how to do business. We think of the word salesman and we think of the cheesy used car guy with the CEO with questionable morals, or the super intense stay-at-home mom from high school desperate to get her network marketing biz out there to the world. And this is often for good reason, because these people have either never been taught how to sell, or they were trained by traditional sales coaches who use outdated pressure techniques and psychological manipulation instead of psychology, leading customers and clients to feel used and abused even after they've purchased. But here's the thing. People love to buy things. People love to buy things. People love to buy things. They just don't like to be sold to, manipulated, or lied to. People want to be seen. They want to feel heard. They want to have their problems solved, and they want to connect with someone with similar values and goals. They want to have their desires met. Personally, I used to avoid sales like the plague. When I had my first brick and mortar business, my studio, I gave away so much for free, and I was often manipulated by customers looking for a deal because I couldn't stand strong in my knowledge of my value, and I definitely had a money martyr archetype, meaning I would just give away of myself freely all the time. So how did I break out of this pattern? Well, the first thing I did is I started to pay attention to the experience of being sold to, because I like to buy things. I like to join programs, and I would hire coaches and buy products and services all the time. And I love the experience when it was done well. Then sometimes I would have an opportunity presented and it didn't go so well. And I would think, interesting. Why didn't I feel compelled to buy? I started learning from the people whose emails I opened, whose programs I bought, and I would intensely watch webinars and masterclasses and that teacher's way of delivering an offer. I started to love the process of witnessing how sales can feel good for both parties and how it can be done effectively. So, question for you, what do you think of when you think of the word sales? What do you think of? A little check-in here. Was there immediately a negative thought that came to mind? Because the truth is, sales is solutions, sales is giving people what they want, sales is satisfying someone's desires, sales is an energy exchange, and sales is healing. You have to remember that you're not taking, you are giving. if you're making a product that helps people and you care about helping people and you care about getting people results, then you are giving. Sales is required for you to keep giving because your work takes time and effort, and you can't do this without the exchange of money. So if you feel ick about taking money, you need to ask, do you believe in what you do? Are you in love with your solutions? Is it a good program, right? Is it a good product? Are you willing to accept money? Do you love money? Now, this comes up a lot, imposter syndrome, and I'm going to give you guys a different take here, maybe not what you think. Sometimes imposter syndrome kicks in because we're simply new to selling and business, but sometimes it kicks in because we're about to scale and this new territory kicks up all kinds of feelings in our nervous system because it's somewhere you haven't been before, also normal. But sometimes imposter syndrome is there because we're actually imposters. Okay, you're not hearing other coaches talk about this. I focus on helping my clients develop the best programs possible. So a legit question is to ask yourself, are you being 100% honest in your work? Have you put 100% into your products and services? Are you 100% excited to sell them? If not, go and make them better. For real, go back. And I think some coaches will have people bypass these feelings. Sometimes you do need to go and make them better. And it's not about being a perfectionist by any means, but what do you need to do in order to feel good about your own program, your own solutions that you're offering? And a big reason why this kicks up, the imposter syndrome kicks up, is people are selling programs that they don't have results in. Right? You put together a program, there's information in it, but you don't actually have those results, or you haven't taken clients through this process before. So the fastest way to eradicate imposter syndrome is teach what you know, teach what you have results in, teach what you have experience in. So how do you sell ethically, honestly, and provide serious value to your ideal clients? As opposed to traditional sales tactics, ethical selling is a process of using a moral sales framework to achieve your desired outcome. It's super effective, persuasive, but it never crosses that line towards manipulation. It focuses on honesty, integrity, and human psychology. Honestly, it's coaching. When you are dealing with a really good ethical salesperson, right, they might put pressure on people, but so does coaching. You're asking people hard questions. You're digging in there with the goal of getting that person results. What's not ethical? Trying to convince someone that they have a problem when they actually don't. Not being honest about your background, your service, or your ability to deliver results. Hiding elements of your product or service that are unflattering or vague and using erroneous language to kind of cover that up. Lying about price increases or doors closing when you actually have no intentions of doing so. Fake scarcity, we call that. Fake testimonials. An inflated price that is heavily discounted. You guys have seen that before. This program is worth $10,000, but today you can get it for $7. Misrepresenting a product or service in order to gain the sale. And scarcity tactics when there actually is no scarcity. And we'll get into that in a bit here. Why is it important to ethically sell? Well, it takes 40 positive interactions with your brand and business to make up for one bad one. You want to build lifelong customers who will return again and again. You're not looking for a quick one and done sale. You want your current clients to be your social proof for future ones. And it's going to chip away at you, hopefully, or even worse, if that doesn't affect you or chip away at you, well, you have other problems, I suppose, right? You don't want to build up a hard shell that's going to make you immune from bad behavior. You want to keep your heart in business. Benefits of ethical selling for long-term success here. So long-term, if you do this well, you're going to build know, like, and trust in your brand. You're going to develop lifelong customers and clients. You'll have way more fun with selling. It will feel good for you and them. and it's going to increase your long-term revenue. Here's some common dilemmas. So example one, someone comes to you with a problem that you don't actually solve in your work. I get this all the time. People will ask me to do certain jobs, and I could, but I don't. Do you tell them that you can help them and then you scramble just to figure something out on the fly? Do you recommend someone else that can help them where it is their zone of genius? Do you tell them that you haven't solved this problem before, but you're willing to try? B or C, or sorry, I guess I should say 2 or 3 would be just fine, but 3 only if you actually can figure this out. If you know someone better suited for the job, you should probably give the client that option as well. Example 2, you know you need social proof and testimonials for your great new product and program, but you're just starting out, so you don't have any customers yet. Everyone's going to be at this point. Do you just write your own, like make them up, knowing that your product is amazing and they won't be disappointed, so you can just get away with it? Ask your best friend to write a review for you? Copy reviews from another similar product? Go without any testimonials? Share your personal experience. 1, never falsify a testimonial. You could skip the testimonials altogether, but I don't recommend it. I would look for ways that you can get legitimate testimonials. You could do a beta launch in exchange for a testimonial. You could do a focus group and provide free samples. You could share legitimate transformation stories of people who do use that kind of product or process or use stats in your industry. That stuff's okay. You could also 100% just start with your own transformation story. Here's another example. You know weaving scarcity is helpful to drive traffic, but there's actually no scarcity. You'll take anyone's money at any time. Do you make up a timeline that they have to join by? Closing, doors closed December 1st. Say you're going to increase the price later, but it's actually going to stay the same. Say they lose bonus materials, but you send them out anyways. Not have any scarcity in your offer? Or create actual scarcity? What do you do? While some ethical marketers will say that you should never have scarcity into your offer, I 100% disagree. 100%. Why? Because people don't act unless there's scarcity, unless there's pressure. It's true. At the time that this workshop was written, people are overwhelmed by the amount of options. And if you don't have actual scarcity in your offer, people will never pull the trigger. They'll just say later, later, tomorrow. Focus on creating solutions that solve real problems and don't be afraid to put actual scarcity into your offers and stick to it. Stick to it. So maybe on your sales call, you have a bonus where they can save some money. That's scarcity. Maybe you have a beta launch price and then the regular launch price. Maybe you have bonus materials and they can only get them up to a certain date. Our greatest service to people is helping them solve their problems. This is why you need to be unapologetic about putting healthy pressure on people, because sometimes healthy pressure is of greatest service to people that have been trapped in their pain for years and decades, never able to break out of that themselves. If you know you can solve someone's problems, and that your program will change their life, it will heal them, it will help them make money, it will save their marriage, whatever it is that your offer is, right? Be unapologetic about putting some pressure on them to get them to take action. It's still their choice whether or not they want to do it. Here's some other scarcity options. Yeah, limited time bonuses, doors are closing, limited spots, price increasing. You can certainly have free or low ticket offers available all the time with zero scarcity. When you build out a multi-tiered offer suite, that will also help you and them feel good about scarcity in your offers, right? Say there's limited spots in your mastermind and the doors are closing soon and they're not in a position where they can afford that right now. Well, great. I have my low ticket membership and it's available all the time. Or you can watch these workshops on my YouTube channel for free anytime. So it's important to understand, again, the human mind. you need to understand the psychology of selling. You need to understand buyer behavior and how people think and how they take action. Why do people buy? Every action that a person takes is motivated by improvement. We buy because we believe it will improve or enhance our lives. So do you understand why your prospects buy? And why will they be better off by choosing your product or service over a competitor's? This is why in our scale program, the first place that we start is the offer. We want to make sure that your offer is good. It's rooted in integrity and it's designed to get people results. That's going to make sales so much easier. People buy because they want to be better off physically, emotionally, even spiritually, also financially. The more your product can satisfy your prospects' desires, the more incentive there is to buy. Selling goes wrong when we push features and benefits. You get 15 modules and weekly coaching over the emotions, feelings, and experience of the client getting what they desire. By the end of this training, you're not going to get divorced. By the end of this program, you're going to make 10K months and finally be able to get out of debt. You don't focus on price and quality. These aren't really reasons why people buy. So don't use them as such when making a sale. The results on the other side are the thing that you lead with, the thing that your client actually wants. They don't really care how you deliver it. They just want to know what's in it for them on the other side of this. According to Brian Tracy, sales psychology expert, the main human needs that people are looking to satisfy when they buy are money, security, being liked, status and prestige, health and fitness, praise and recognition, power, influence, popularity, leading the field, so like an authority in your space, love and companionship, personal growth, personal transformation. These are the things that people are buying. Not your online course, not your downloadable PDF, not how many times you show up to coach them. You want to build trust and rapport with your customers so that they know that you're the one that can confidently deliver these outcomes to them. This probably starts with your free content, your nurturing content, your value-based content. You want to serve your audience generously with high-level free content that solves real problems and get used to giving this away generously. You want to show, not tell, as much as humanly possible in your content. And perhaps you even create an offer suite that serves your ideal client at different legs of their journey. And be clear about what offer is for who and when. If someone is wanting to buy a program or product, but you know it's not actually the right choice for them, maybe someone wants to be in your mastermind, but they're just starting out and it's not a good fit for the group. You want to make sure that you are guiding them to the right choice or explain when it is the best time to use that offer. You know what, the mastermind would be great for you later down the road when you're already making 20K months and can fit in with this group. But you know what, you're just starting out, you're at 5K months. Let's get you in the Build Your Coaching Business program, and then we can get you up to that level to be in the mastermind. You want to make sure that you're using lots of social proof, not only in your content, but like actually in your sales calls, talking about the other people that you've worked with. You want to share truthful testimonials and anecdotes from other happy customers. Make sure that you're sharing credible data. Take a data-driven approach to help customers and make interactions less subjective. You can provide stats in your industry, third-party research, or tangible data to back up your points. So let's say someone wants to build a membership community with me. I'm going to tell them about stats in the industry and why it is or isn't a good time to focus on that product. You want to be accountable. So if a problem arises and you are at fault, you want to quickly and truthfully take responsibility when you're actually working with clients, and you can share those experiences as well when you're selling. And you want to provide fair, competitive comparisons. So when selling, when talking to people, if you're going to compare yourself to someone else, make sure that it is truthful and reasonable. You don't have to throw rocks at your competitors or shoot them down. It might just be a basic like price comparison. Like, you know what? Both programs are really, really good, but that one is 10 times as much, right? We don't need to throw in like a character attack on top of that by any means, but just talk about the bells and whistles of the programs and the differences between them. How do you overcome objections? The thing that you're going to face in every single sales call, for sure. You're going to get no's in business. That's just a fact. Get used to it. If you're avoiding getting no's, then you're never going to get yeses. You're going to have to learn to take objections in stride. You're going to have to know how to manage your own emotions and learn how to handle objections with grace. Because it's not about you, it's about them. Alex Hormozi says that the person that cares the most about the person in front of them wins. Be neutral when handling objections, not emotionally invested, right? Someone brings up a problem like, I don't have money right now. No, that's not a problem. And you ask them more questions to get to know their situation. And we teach that more in depth in our sales program here. Here's how to handle a few objections. And these are going to come your way. So listen up here. Learn to listen with compassion and empathy. Ask more questions. Tell me more about that. When you say expensive, like, what do you mean? Like in comparison to what? Yeah, you know what? A lot of people are scared when they invest in a program for the first time. You know, that's understandable. You want to resonate first. Slow everything down. Regulate yourself before a sales call. Regulate yourself during. Breathe slowly. Slow down the conversation. Talk less. Listen more. And do not jump to spewing all the reasons why they should buy. Listen for and repeat back to them what they want. In fact, on a sales call, I'm not explaining myself. It's a very, very small portion of the sales call, even explaining the program. I'm asking that person what they want. I'm getting into the weeds about why they don't have that now, about what they've tried before that isn't working, what their life could look like on the other side of solving this problem. It's coaching. I'm really coaching that person during that call and really just helping them feel heard and understood, repeating back to them what I'm hearing. You want to be listening for what they really want. Sounds like you want to spend more time with your kids. And the way you're working right now is taking a lot of time away from the family, but not giving you the kind of income that you would like. You want to listen for what's in their way of that. So I hear that you've worked with other coaches for about 5 years. You've tried doing this on your own. You've tried some real courses. You have tried these other things. Why do you think that hasn't worked yet? You want to get to the heart of why they need help. So you want to find out what they've been trying so far, why it's not working. Do you think that if you just keep doing this thing, eventually it will work? How long have you been trying these things? You want to get to the heart of what this frustration point is and how much better would their life be when they get their desired result. It's okay to ask hard questions like, how will you feel if 6 months from now you're still in the same place? And you can also call people out on a call, their level of willingness to actually get this. Are you willing to do these things? Is this really important to you? Are you sure? It sounds like you've been procrastinating. It sounds like you've been self-sabotaging. It sounds like you can even, depending on the client, be really bold, right? It sounds like you have a lot of excuses. Yet you're telling me this is what you really want. Guys, this is coaching, like getting into the weeds with people. Remembering, if you honestly think you can help this person and you have a really good program that can get them there, right? Coach them. Coach them to understand that it's time for a change. Remember that objections are all the same: time, money, belief. So, time, the way that you get around that is how your offer is actually going to save them time. Money, I don't have money. How will your offer help them make money? How can you make it more accessible with payment plans? And their belief in themselves. So, depending on the person in front of you, some people need to be built up, right? If they're feeling really low about themselves, how would it feel to finally put like the self-sabotage behind you? What would that feel like? What would your spouse think about you? Some people need to be brought down. Some people have a really grandiose view of self. They're really combative, yet they're on a sales call because they have a problem that can't be solved and they're not being honest with themselves. So those people, you don't want to fight them, but you want to ask them more questions, really, to get to the reality of where they're at, really gently. It's a whole different approach. If after you go through objections, there's still a no, I would say, I can sense that you're not fully committed yet. Am I correct? Then on that call, I wouldn't leave this till later. I said, when would be a good time to follow up with you? And then I would set the date then and there for a secondary call. Some people need more information. Some sales coaches will tell you like, no, definitely not. Never let this person go. Ideally, you do close sales on the call. But if someone needs to talk to a spouse, like that's okay. I respect that. Some other sales gurus might tell you no. And I know that sometimes I lose a sale when I do this, but that's okay. I'm not here to manhandle anyone. If there's still a no after your second call, then just let them be. But let them know that you're here if and when they're ready to jump in. But make sure you follow up with them at another time. They booked that call with you for a reason. Now, some other things that will make you feel really good about sales and your work is value-driven marketing. Make sure that your brand is aligned with your values. Does your brand target your ideal customers based on a specific set of beliefs or causes? If the answer is yes, and you're probably already doing this. Values-based marketing helps you stand out in a crowded marketplace, and it helps you connect with the people that you're selling to. But you want to have obvious examples of your value system in your work. Demonstrating values-based marketing and actually living those values yourself will help you build trust with your audience. So for example, I talk a lot about freedom in my brand. If I was working 24/7 and never taking vacation, and like a slave to work, that's not freedom. But in my brand, you'll see me living in the woods on my 3-acre farm and taking a month off at a time to travel to Thailand with the family and setting my business systems up to create more ease in my day-to-day. Like I'm living the things that I preach about. That builds trust with my audience. If you do this, you will not only gain loyal followers, they'll also bring other people with them as well. Talk about your brand's mission and vision often and why your brand values are woven into your products and services. Focus on building authentic relationships because connection equals sales. I'm really in my DMs. I talk to people all the time. Yes, it's time consuming, and yes, it's worth it. It's important to be real, honest, and authentic when interacting with your clients and prospects. The person that you see here or in the Sovereign CEO or in my DMs or on the podcast, it's all the exact same person. There's no role playing, no masks, no performances. People want to interact with real humans. So you can be professional, you can have boundaries, but be yourself. Ask questions, get to know people, form real relationships. Some strategies for you to build more genuine connections with customers. And in our programs, there's a lot that leads up to a sales call. And a lot of that is really honestly relationship building from that first point of contact when they find you in the content all the way to the sales call. You're building relationship with that person with your nurture content, your value-driven content, the way that you show up, the way you interact with people in the DMs. This is all relationship building. Listen more, ask more questions, poll, interact, and engage with your audience often, and leverage social media to help you do this. Seek to solve problems first, sell later, or lead with solving problems more than money. Then the money will come. Stay open to receiving feedback and criticism gracefully. Be generous and over-deliver to your customers wherever possible. This is an easier way to approach business, putting the customer first, putting their outcomes first. And it's more beneficial to your bottom line to keep happy customers than it is to constantly attract new ones. So before you even seek to grow your account or get more people into your programs, ask yourself if you can serve your current customers, your current followers better. Focus on creating win-win solutions, because the real game is you both win. You want to shift from a transactional mindset, I need money, I need another sale, to a relational mindset. How can you create outcomes where you both win? Have conversations and negotiate solutions that prioritize mutual benefit for both parties, and seek to build long-term partnerships with clients. Ideally, you knock people's socks off. They have such a good time with you when you're doing like a coaching container that they want to do it again. Here are my 10 key points for success in selling. 1, make sure that you love what you do and you're super passionate about your program and your solution. That's for sure number 1. Make sure that you're choosing ideal clients that would be a dream for you to work with. That's going to be really easy for you to deliver a good service to them too, if you actually like spending time with this group of people. Seek to solve real problems first before selling. Decide exactly what you want and set clear sales goals around that. How many people do you want in your programs? How many lives are you going to change? Commit to learning how to love selling, this process. You have to practice it. I study sales calls. I study the art of being sold to again and again. Remember that integrity is everything. Listen more, talk less, practice the golden rule, treat other people how you would like to be treated, embody what you say you value, let them see that in your work, obvious examples of it, and seek to connect and build relationships first. So, couple next steps here. Grab your journal or your notes app on your phone, and I want you to write down your answers to the following questions. When was the last time, you can screenshot this too if you want, that you bought something that you were excited about? What was that experience of being sold to? What do you need to do to be more excited about your own program or product so that you can show up and sell in your business? Are there improvements that need to be made? What are the problems that you can solve for people? Who are the different types of people that you can help? How can you be more in integrity with your work? How can you create better relationships with your current clients? How do you need to be, your presence, your tone, your behaviors, your listening skills in order to attract new clients? And what beliefs around selling are you committed to shifting today? And what will those new beliefs be? What free content could you create today that really shows off your work? Where are you currently selling? Instagram, Facebook, email list. Where else could you show up? List the people that you would like to work with or or have tried your product before. What is that person like? If you were to make them into an avatar, what is that avatar? What kind of human are they? If you would like help with your own sales process, I would love to hear from you. We have this deeply embedded in my Scale program, but we also have lots of courses on this in the Sovereign CEO Academy. I love teaching on sales. This is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. But I want you to know that sales is a necessary skill if you are going to be in business. It doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor, or a yoga teacher, or a coach, or you sell skincare, you're in sales. So let's learn how to do it well. Let's learn how to do it ethically. Let's learn how to write our own sales scripts, our own DM scripts, and create a process that feels good for us and them and actually works for the business. We can feel however we want to feel about it, but does it work at the end of the day too? Guys, I hope you like this presentation. Follow me on YouTube if you want to learn more with me. I upload free trainings every single week. And if you'd like to build or scale your business with me, you can book a discovery call with me and my team. We can go over the roadmap of what that looks like. And we're just super passionate about helping values-based entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses. Thanks for watching today, guys. I'll see you next time.